Take 3, A camera mark.
No personal effects, no signs of struggle or damage to the car.
A 17-year-old girl, barefoot, legless, no license, manages to kill her boyfriend, then teach herself to drive a car down that track in the dark without a scratch, then push it into the lake. Can't see it myself. I don't know of many contemporary rural thrillers.
I can't name a detective drama where it's about a strong female black woman, and I think it's what we need.
I suppose you could call Ellis a modern detective series with heart, moral and wit.
They're very carefully crafted scripts to make sure they hook people in early with twists and turns along the way.
I suppose the premise of the series is a very talented detective who's stood down for personal reasons, is encouraged back into the force to rediscover how good she is at what she does.
She's kind of like an emergency agent that swoops in to solve crimes that are of a particular nature, that are difficult or surrounded by controversy. She's in to make the hard decisions and ruffle the feathers of other police departments. You know, it's that classic fish out of water tale where Ellis is, you know, this urban woman from the streets of London, and she kind of gets dropped into the Midlands of England, in rural England, to almost like a superhero to be parachuted in, to use her special set of skills to solve these crimes. In the process of that, she has to face the adversity of being different from everybody else surrounding her and climbing the ladder and, you know, tolerating prejudice and whatnot throughout the series and doing it with a brave face and still getting the job done and solving the crimes.
Ellis is fastidious, principled, compassionate, stubborn, impatient. She's a fantastic cop. She's really good at what she does. She sees the small details that other people miss. She's used to being unnoticed. So it's kind of like her superpower, that she can kind of slip under the radar and not be noticed and see things that other people don't see.
Regardless of how precise and on top of things she is in her professional life, she can see all the angles coming, but she has a dysfunctional relationship with her daughter.
Travelling universally, the themes of striving to overcome an environment where you're not welcome by being really good at what you do and sticking true to yourself. I think everybody responds to that.
Racism, sexism, all these themes in a show that people unfortunately are still dealing with in the world, and I think policing and having that on the front line of being a detective, it's a really interesting melting pot of a world that she has to step into. And I think Ellis is definitely an extraordinary detective who lands in a rather ordinary police force.
When Ellis starts out, it's about this woman who is a loner, who is transient, who kind of wanders into town, Western gunslinging style, and does her thing. And by the time we get to Ep 3, she has a partner in Harper, and he's someone that she's beginning to trust and beginning to like. Do you know what I mean? She's quite reserved in how she does stuff because nothing is supposed to get in the way of the case. It's about how do we solve this case? We've got to keep working. She never stops working. She's always on the case. So it's seen that relationship grow.
Harper and Ellis, it's a growing friendship, a growing trust between two people from completely different backgrounds, completely different ways of working. And I think they both learn from each other in life and in their workplace as well.
D.S. Harper has worked his way up from the bottom of Hanmore Station. I guess he's grown comfortable and he's learned some good stuff and a lot of bad stuff. I guess when you meet him, he's an outsider within his own station. He's hiding a lot of his quirks. He's kind of trying to be a big fish in a small pond. Ellis comes in. She gives him the idea that he can be something bigger than he is, and that policing and detective work is more thorough and more thought out and more committed than what he's been used to.
I love working with Andrew. When we did the chemistry read, he was actually the first guy that came in, and we just clicked in a way that was so gorgeous. When you just know, when you just have that feeling in your heart and in your gut, and you're like, we are going to work so beautifully together and get on so great. And it just means that the Ellis-Harper relationship will have depth and love and some comedy, you know, and you'll see these people grow with each other, and you'll see his admiration for how she works as a DCI and how that then affects him as a detective and helps him to grow.
Sharon's been there, done that, got the T-shirt. She's just a joy to work with. She's open. She makes sure that everybody, whether you're in for a day or in for a week or in for the whole shoot, everybody feels like they're important. And I think that lets people take risks on set. That lets people produce their best work. And I think it's a great starting point for a series to be successful.
Every day she arrived with a smile on her face. She made a point to say hello and good morning to everyone before we started work. And that is just a testament to her personality, because she's so kind and generous with her time.
She made the crew feel so special. She gave everyone the time of day. She gave them the space, the love and the laugh. I loved working with her. I hope to do it again. And as a friend, as well as a very talented actress, she carries this show beautifully.
I'm arresting you for possession with intent to supply and the constructive manslaughter of Amelie Haddenham. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court.
It's a hard-hitting detective show. I think it puts you on the front line, the stress of the job, the intricacies of the cases.
I hope that they come on the journey with us. I hope that they like Ellis's and Harper's relationship, that they get into how she solves the crimes, that they love the locations, that they learn about this woman who is an outsider and where she comes from and what it takes for her to do what she does.
I would describe Ellis as an original, hard-hitting, dark-humoured detective show.
Ellis is a classic murder mystery wrapped up in a cop show with very satisfying conclusions.
Contemporary, rural thriller. Come Western.